Hey there, freaks and geeks. Welcome to another episode of Geek Out for a Minute. My name is Rocky Rees. I am the host of the show. And you know what? We are coming at you here from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, today we're going to cover what's called the news. And you know, it's not just the news. I mean, it's going to be movie news. You know, for now, let's cue that music. All right, so look, one of the things is I just want to let you know before we get started in this segment, as I told you guys, we want to move forward into the movie news industry. And, you know, I'm not saying that I'm going to be like looking out and, you know, doing the reporting and getting the information. You know, I'm going to look around for, you know, movie news all over the place and, you know, give it to you as we go. And also, you know, coming from trusted sites. So that being said, I just want to let you guys know. And you know, it's kind of weird because whenever I do shows at my home, I get people asking me, hey, where's Jack? Hey, when the one that we're getting a lot is, where's Boone? So, look, just to let you guys know, look, Jack is still part of the team. Boone is still part of the team. You know, until these guys tell me that they don't want to do it, then they won't be here, and, you know, I'll let you guys know. Now, but during the next couple of days, Jack has really been working on a lot of music. He's got some talented people under him right now that he's working with. So he's producing a lot of stuff. So he's a really busy guy. Plus, you know, he's also bartending, and he also has kids. I myself, I have kids, and I got military priorities as well, you know, being in the California National Guard. So sometimes it's very difficult. So I'm really sorry because there's like 4 videos that I want to comment on. I want to do a video on, and I just haven't got around to it. So I really apologize for being behind, but I will get those out to you as soon as possible. Okay, so this segment is going to be the Go Fam movie news. So this is going to be where we just talk about just brief little insights on what is up and coming. Okay, so let's start off with the first segment of it. The first part is, as you guys know, Doctor Strange has dropped a trailer, and you know, I'm gonna make a video on it, I swear. But just give me a minute. But before I talk about that, just one of the things that I've been seeing a lot in you know, Facebook and things like that, and people are kind of starting to say, hey man, Tilda Swinton is supposed to be the ancient one, and you know what? She's not even Asian. What the hell, you know? And it's funny because I heard the same thing for Gods and Kings. What the hell is that movie called? It was that one with Gerard Butler and Jamie Lannister. But the issue here is that you know, just people are trying to make these comic book movies into their cause. And look, man, just let comic books be comic books. Let them tell you what the cause is. You know what I'm saying? For instance, and I covered this in the Oscars video that I did. You know, people were saying, hey, blacks are not represented. There's no blacks in the categories of the Oscars. You know, the Oscars is racist. And, you know, look, it's not. If you look at that year, you just had some heavy hitters that happen to be who they are. Alejandro Naruto still won for Best Director 2 years in a row. You know, he's a Hispanic guy. Come on. You know, and look, there's some arguments out there, you know, for like Idris Elba, you know, for his role in Beast of No Nation, which is a great film. And Idris Elba is just golden all around. But, you know, the problem is that it's a Netflix movie. And there's certain criteria that it takes for them to be on the Oscar consideration. So you can't just be on Netflix and be like, hey, or straight to VOD or DVD and expect to be on it. It has to be in the theaters. I forgot how long or how many theaters it's got to be. It's a certain rule like that, but you know, it's not going to happen like that. So now the one question that I pose to those people that are saying, hey, you know, for Gods of Egypt or whatever, you know, why don't you get Egyptians to play the role? You know, for certain these things, you know, why don't you get them to play the role? And you know, here's the thing. The reason why they're getting these actors and they're saying Hollywood whitewash. It's not Hollywood whitewash. It's who's gonna buy the tickets to see this movie. consider yourself kind of like an investor. Now let's just say I got $5 million that I can throw away. I mean, clearly I don't, but let's say I do, and I'm gonna invest it in a movie that I know or I feel is going to produce. Okay, now if I make this movie Gods of Egypt, and we have these actors from Egypt that nobody knows here in America. This is going to be a released in America film, and nobody knows them. Who's going to buy the tickets to see it? Who? I mean, here's the thing. I mean, sure, maybe it'll become a cult classic. I mean, not Gods of Egypt, obviously, but what I'm saying is that who's going to buy the tickets? You know, it may become a cult classic, but the point is that people want to see their money now. They want to make it a blockbuster movie. Okay, so now clearly that's not what happened with Gods of Egypt, but you know, whatever. And now we're getting a situation where you get Doctor Strange, where they had the Ancient One. Not only did they make it into a female instead of a male based on the comics, but you know, again, it's Tilda Swinton. So, and I've said this before in other videos, when they change the ethnicities of my characters and even the genders, I kind of get a little upset. But it's really hard to get upset when you got such talented actors. And, you know, in this case, Tilda Swinton, I mean, there's hardly any roles where you can say that Tilda Swinton didn't knock it out of the ballpark. And for her to play the Ancient One, you know she's going to do a good job. Just like Baron Mordor, or Marduk, which is the guy in Doctor Strange, which is played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Hopefully I can get this right. I'm sorry for butchering it because I really love you as an actor, you know, so I apologize for that. But he's a great actor, and he is normally he's a white guy. So my question would be, with such talent like that, you really can't argue with it. So I'm not going to bicker about him being a different ethnicity on this one. Now, the other thing that bothered me about Fantastic Four when they got Michael B. Jordan, who I love as an actor again, but my problem was also with Sue Storm, is that if you're gonna make his sister, just make her black too. You know, it's like I don't see why you had to do that. It's like why, and I said this before, why can't Miles Teller, you know, or you know Richard Reeds have jungle fever? Whatever. So in this one, when people say, hey, why can't you get an Asian actor? Who would you get? Who would you get to bring in that money? And that's what people don't understand. So now I'm going to move along here to the future of DC. Okay, so you know, with the mixed reviews with Batman v Superman, and there was also a petition to get Snyder off of Justice League, which, you know, I'm just going to be straight up. That's fucking stupid. You know, despite on how you feel about the DC movie, obviously I liked it, Jack liked it, and you know, him and we argued about certain points. But that movie, for me overall, I think it was good. I loved it. I loved the action. I loved, you know, everything about it. And I had also an understanding that, you know, he had to cut a lot of the movie. It was originally supposed to be set as a 3-hour movie. So he had to cut it down, you know, because the studio told him to. So that's why it seems kind of choppy, which he's kind of having the same thing as Joss Whedon did with Age of Ultron. He had to cut a lot of it. So I'm really curious to see what that extra footage was. And so, you know, he's going to have a full one for the DVD. Now, mind you, also he had to cut it down because of the violence, because it was rated R. So they had to cut it down to make it into a PG-13. But they said that they're going to release a rated R version. So I'm really curious to see that and what they're going to do with that. I think that's going to show a lot of the cuts that we normally would have seen at the theater. And you know what? Now we're going to get to see. So I'm curious to see that. But yeah, make no mistake. I mean, nothing really is going to change. I mean, you're not going to get Snyder off that film because despite on how you feel about that movie still made money. Now, did they make $1 billion like they wanted to? No. But they made, I think, close to $750 million, which is pretty damn close. So it's not a failure by any means. So it still made money. So, and now he's gonna have the form to do Justice League, which I believe they're filming already right now. So yeah, you people that are doing the petition to get him out, you're dumb. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Now, one of the things that I do see, because when they introduce, and look, we're going to get into spoiler territory here, so I'm just waving my hand right now. I'm going to put a sign in there that's a spoiler, so if you haven't seen Batman v Superman, hey, just come back to the video a little bit later on, or just forward it until you stop seeing that spoilers bar up there. So one of the things was that they had an introduction video, which was, they had the Flash, you know, they had Cyborg, and they had Aquaman. And out of all three of them, Cyborg was the weakest one. And I felt like it was lazy animation. Or lazy CGI. Jack loved it because he thought like, oh, you know, alien technology. But I personally, I don't care what kind of technology you're going to talk about it. If it's floating cubes, I'm going to talk shit. I think they should have made it a lot better, especially for the budget that it had, which I believe it had a $250 million budget. So there's really no excuse for lazy CGI. So, but I felt that that was the weakest one, and even all the critics out there that I've seen at a lot of the YouTube videos, they all felt the same way, that the Cyborg one was the weakest one. And I think that he's one of those characters that, sure, people know him from Teen Titans Go and all that stuff, but I just don't think that it's going to resonate with people unless you make it an adult film. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I feel that they're probably going to like shorten that down. Even though they said, hey, we got a release date for Cyborg, he's going to play a big part on it, but I doubt it. I honestly doubt it, because I don't see a lot of people clamoring to see Cyborg. I think Cyborg is cool. I would love to see a Cyborg movie, but not with lazy CGI shit. Okay. Now that being said, yeah, I think that with the footage of Wonder Woman and with what we saw in Batman v Superman as Wonder Woman, people are clamoring to see her next film. Not only that, but we've also seen the best Batman we've ever seen in our lives. So, that being said, I think people are clamoring for another Batman movie. So, they've already confirmed, you know, that you have Ben Affleck, who's going to direct and co-write with Jeff Johns, you know, from DC Comics. And they're going to do a standalone Batman film. It's going to be called The Batman. And we don't know the details of it, but whispers are that it's going to be, you know, under the Red Hood, the Jason Todd story. So, which they kind of already hinted at in Batman v Superman with the costume, the Robin costume there. So I think that would be a good match. But again, you know, Ben Affleck he's got an Academy Award for Best Picture. And I know before I said director, but it's not director, it's Best Picture. And he's also an Academy Award winner for Best Writer, along with Matt Damon. So I don't see why he would not. He's a perfect choice for this, you know, clearly. So I can't believe they haven't mentioned that. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of like push back Cyborg, because it's a movie that I don't think people are hungry to see. Now, if you feel different, let me know in the comments below. Now, let's go ahead and move on to another little bit of news here. Now, Disney/Marvel has removed the Inhumans out of their slate. So, you know, so with them taking out the Inhumans out of their slate for the movies, and I think they're probably gonna save that flavor for fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And look, I was started off as a fan as it being okay, but man, it's just for some people they feel like it's going better, and in some ways it is, but in other ways it's just getting worse for me. It's hard for me to watch it, so I got a lot of catching up to do, because I just kind of like, sometimes I just don't have the strength to muster to get that. Just like Supergirl. I watched a few episodes, hated it, and I only watched the Barry Allen or, you know, Flash crossover episode, and I still hated it. Not that I didn't like Grant Gustin, because he did really well. He's a really good actor. It's just the cast of Supergirl who suck. They suck, and And I was surprised to see this episode, which is, I don't know if it's episode 18 or 17, and Callista Flockhart is still in this fucking show. Like, but okay, whatever. I digress. I'll save that for another time. But Inhumans now that they're showing a lot of Inhuman things on Agents of Shield, which is why I feel like they retracted. They're like, you know what? Let's just take it out of the slate and just let them have it. Let them have a bone. And I can kind of see why, but I still would have been curious to see a movie about the Inhumans. Just think that it would probably be difficult to have, the leader of the Inhumans, which is Black Bolt, who can't speak. Well, he could speak, but he destroys everything with his voice. So how would you work with that? I don't know. So they probably just said, hey, just give it to Agents of Shield. We'll work with something else. And and here's the thing, Marvel, I mean, they're already doing the Ant-Man sequel. They're already working with Kevin Feige is going to be producing the new Spider-Man movie, the standalone movie, aside from what you have on Civil War. And so yeah, I honestly don't see this property happening with the movies, which is why they probably took it out. They're probably like, you know what? It's probably also the least known of the Marvel characters out there, which are probably like, you know what? I mean, we're probably going to need X amount of millions of dollars to make, and we're probably not going to make that back. I mean, but then again, I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that turned out to be really well for them for an unknown property. So, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. But really, I think they should just yank Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I just don't really care for it. But I mean, look, if you like it, let me know in the comments below. Let's move on to the next tidbit of news, where we got the Spider-Man title. It's going to be Spider-Man Homecoming, which to me just sounds fucking retarded. And give me a second now. Now you're getting a lot of the people are giving great reviews for Captain America: Civil War, and they're saying, dude, because of this, I want to see the standalone movie, and I haven't seen the movie, so I can't tell you, but I will be watching it. But yeah, I mean, but Homecoming is just a stupid movie, and it just kind of like, what bothers me about it is because I didn't want a Spider-Man back in high school again. I've just seen it too many times. It's like we're gonna see a Peter Parker who's awkward around chicks, where I want to see the cocky Spider-Man, but and a grown-up dealing with grown-up things. But I see where they're coming from, but at the same point, I don't want to see it anymore. But I still watch it. But now you call the movie Homecoming, which we all know it's a fucking high school party, and people are like, no, it doesn't mean that. It means about them coming back, about Spider-Man coming back to Marvel. And I'm like, well, it's still a fucking stupid title. It's still fucking retarded. I don't care about the double meaning. It's still retarded. So that's what I got to say about it. Can't wait to see it, but I mean, I still want to see it. I'll still see it. But I'm really hoping that it's not a kiddish movie, which I got a feeling that's what they're going to do. We'll see, though. I still haven't seen Civil War, so... Anyways, the other tidbit of news is that the villain that they wanted for Spider-Man Homecoming is going to be the Vulture. And, that brings a smile to my face because as a kid, I remember watching the old school Spider-Man cartoons, and Spider-Man has probably one of the biggest rogues gallery out there. Maybe just shy short from Batman. So, I do want to see the Vulture. I do want to see Scorpion. I do want to see a proper Rhino. So yeah, I mean, that was I was kind of smiling about that. I'm happy that they're gonna bring in a different character that we haven't seen on the big screen. Obviously, we've already seen the Green Goblin twice. We've seen Sandman, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, and then we saw Venom, which is terribly done, and but for me, my favorite one was when they had Doc Ock as but it was Alfred Molina, which it's because of that high caliber of an actor, like Alfred Molina, excuse me, that he can pull off and make a great Doc Ock. And I think that's where Sam Raimi kind of hit a goal. That for me, Part 2 is better than any of the Spider-Mans actually that have been released. But with this one, they're in talks. This is not confirmed yet. They're in talks. That means that they're talking probably paychecks, how much time in the role they're gonna be or whatever, or other movies that he might be in. But they're in talks with Michael Keaton playing the Vulture, and this just blows my mind because, excuse me, 2 years ago, again what you saw. 2 years ago, I felt like Michael Keaton was snuffed from having the Oscar for Best Actor and losing to Eddie Redmayne. But Michael Keaton has been just killing it with Birdman. And, actually everything that I've seen Michael Keaton in has been awesome. He also played Batman a long time ago. But Michael Keaton also was in the other movie, Spotlight, and he was great in that, man. So I can't wait to see him as the Vulture. So, man, that's gonna be something else. So I really can't say enough on how excited I am to see Michael Keaton as a Vulture. That would be awesome. Now I do have some other movie news as far as anime goes, and I can't wait to share with you guys. But again, I want to have it for the, as I told you guys before, the other segment, the animatics, which should be coming up soon. So that will be coming on that. If it doesn't pan out, I will spilling it out just like this. So hey, that does it for the Here Go Fam news, which is the movie news. And look, if you guys have any comments below, tell me about your comments. Let me know what you guys think of everything that I just told you guys. Or if you guys know more tangible, meaning that if I got certain things wrong, or maybe that they already confirmed it as we were talking about it, again, let us know in the comments below. We really like your input. And again, look guys, we are trying to hit 100 subscribers. Tell your friends, share this video, let them know what's going on, man. And look, subscribe to it. If you dig the video, hit the thumbs up. Everything helps. I mean, everything we're trying to build right now will help. That's why we let you know about the Blue Mule. That's why we let you know about Neon Billboard. Adam with the Neon Billboard, we let you know about UST with Jack. So, we're all promoting. We're all trying to become a community here in Las Vegas. So, hey, if you guys are YouTubers out there in Vegas, hit me up. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys want to do something together. I'm totally open to increase our community. Other than that, guys, share, subscribe, discuss, and don't forget to spread the word. See you on the flip side.